Hey there, treasure hunters. Have you ever had a moment where you reached into your pocket for spare change and thought, just pennies? Well, what if I told you that one of those little copper coins could be worth $1.1 million? Yeah, you heard me right, a single penny could make you a millionaire. Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating story of the 1979 D-Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny, a coin so valuable, it makes regular folks like us want to check every piggy bank, couch cushion, and parking lot for loose change. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you might be inspired to start your own penny treasure hunt. Alright, let's get into it. First, let me break it down. The 1979 D penny was minted in Denver, hence the D Mint mark. Now, you're probably thinking, okay, but how does a coin from 1979 become worth over $1 million? Great question. The answer lies in a combination of rarity, errors, and condition. Like a perfect storm of collectible coin magic, this isn't just any regular penny. The $1.1 million valuation comes from an extremely rare error during production. Some of these pennies were struck with a double die error, meaning certain details, like Lincoln's profile or the lettering, appear slightly doubled. It's a subtle mistake, but collectors go absolutely bananas for it. Think of it like a misprinted baseball card. It's rare, it's quirky, and it's worth a fortune. Now, before you start flipping over every penny in your pocket, let me say this: condition is everything. Collectors use something called the Sheldon coin grading scale, which rates coins from 1 to 70. If your 1979 D penny looks like it's been through a war zone, don't expect $1 million. The ones that fetch the big bucks are in pristine, mint condition. In fact, the $1.1 million penny was graded as MS67, which is pretty much the Rolls-Royce of coin conditions. Okay, let me tell you a funny story. A couple of years ago, I was cleaning out an old desk at my parents' house. I found this jar of coins and thought, why not check them out? I spent hours sorting through pennies, nickels, and dimes, convinced I was going to find something worth millions. Spoiler alert, I didn't. But I did find a 1979 D penny. My heart skipped a beat until I realized it had been through so many vending machines, you could barely see Lincoln's face. Moral of the story? Always check your coins, but don't get your hopes up too high. Unless, of course, you're one of the lucky ones, alright? So how do you know if you've struck gold, or, in this case, copper? Here are a few things to look for. Make sure it's a 1979 D. No D, no deal. Look closely at the lettering and Lincoln's face. If anything looks doubled, you might be onto something. No scratches, no wear and tear. It needs to look like it just came off the minting press. If you think you found a winner, send it to a professional coin grading service. They'll give you the official thumbs up or down. And now, let's talk money. The record-breaking 1979 D penny sold at auction for $1.1 million because of its perfect combination of rarity, error, and condition. It's like finding a unicorn riding a rainbow while holding a pot of gold. It's that rare. So, there you have it, the incredible story of the 1979 D Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. A tiny coin with a jaw-dropping price tag. Who knew a penny could hold so much value, right? Now, before you rush off to check your spare change, let me leave you with this: there's always treasure hiding in the most unexpected places. Whether it's an old jar of coins, a dusty drawer, or even your car's cup holder, you never know what you might find out. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about coins worth money, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. I've got tons of tips, stories, and strategies to help you turn pocket change into life-changing cash. And hey, drop a comment below if you've ever found a valuable coin. I'd love to hear your story. Hey there, treasure hunters. Imagine this: you're digging through your loose change, maybe grabbing a soda or paying for parking, and bam! You spot a penny. Nothing special, right? Wrong. That tiny copper coin could be worth, wait for it, $1.20 million. Yep, you heard me right, $1 million penny. Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of the 1964 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny. Why is it worth so much? Could you have one hiding in plain sight? Stick around because I've got the answers and a hilarious story about how I almost threw away a valuable coin. Spoiler alert, I didn't, but it was close. Alright, let's get into it. First, let's talk about the basics. The 1964 Lincoln penny was minted without a mint mark. For those of you who might be new to coin collecting, welcome. By the way, a mint mark is the little letter on a coin that tells you where it was made. No mint mark? That means it was made in Philadelphia. Now, here's the kicker: most 1964 pennies are worth, well, a penny. But there's a rare breed of these coins that can fetch up to $1.2 million. Why? Drumroll, please. It all comes down to condition and rarity. You see, back in the day, the Philadelphia Mint cranked out billions, yes, billions, of these pennies. But a few were struck in error with a near-perfect design and a shiny, unblemished finish. These pristine beauties, known as MS67 red in coin collector lingo, are what you're looking for. The red refers to the coin's bright copper color, which fades over time unless it's been carefully preserved. So, if you've got a 1964 penny that looks fresh out of the wrapper, hold on to it like it's gold, because it might as well be. I know what you're thinking, but how do I know if my penny is special? Great question. Here's where things get interesting and a little bit funny. A few years ago, I decided to clean out my car. You know, the way you do when you're procrastinating real responsibilities. I found this random stash of coins under the seat, sticky, grimy, and mixed with an embarrassing amount of candy wrappers. Anyway, I was about 2 seconds away from dumping the whole thing in a Coinstar machine when a shiny penny caught my eye. Turns out, it was a 1964 no mint mark penny. Long story short, I did some research, got it checked out, and, okay, it wasn't worth $1.2 million, but it was worth $25. Not bad for a penny, right? Imagine if it had been a pristine MS67 red. Hello, early retirement. Cut to close-up of a magnifying glass examining a penny. So, if you've got a 1964 no mint mark penny lying around, here's what you need to do. And hey, even if your penny isn't a $1 million masterpiece, coin collecting can be a super fun hobby. Plus, who doesn't love a good treasure hunt? I mean, this is basically national treasure, but with spare change instead of Nicolas Cage. Alright, folks, that's the scoop on the 1964 no mint mark Lincoln penny. Who knew a tiny piece of copper could be worth so much? Now, it's your turn. Go dig through your change jar, check under your couch cushions, and raid that forgotten piggy bank. You never know, your next soda run could turn into $1 million payday. And hey, if you found this video helpful or at least mildly entertaining, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. I've got plenty more tips, tricks, and stories coming your way about coins that could make you rich. Let's turn that loose change into big bucks together. Hey there, coin enthusiasts and casual treasure hunters. Imagine this: you're sifting through an old jar of pennies, maybe one you've had stashed in the back of your closet since forever. You're not expecting much, right? Just a couple of coins to toss into a vending machine. But what if I told you one of those humble little pennies could be worth more than $1 million? Yep, you heard me right, a single penny that's worth $1.3 million. Sounds like the kind of plot twist you'd see in a movie, right? Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating story of the 1978 no mint mark Lincoln penny that's got collectors everywhere flipping through their spare change like detectives on a mission. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you might just be inspired to dig through your own coin stash. And who knows? Maybe you've been sitting on a fortune all along. Let's get into it. Alright, so let's start with the basics. What exactly is the 1978 no mint mark Lincoln penny, and why is it worth so much money? First, a quick primer for the newbies out there. Pennies minted in the US often have little letters on them like D4 Denver or S4 San Francisco that tell you where they were made. But if you come across a penny with no letter at all, that usually means it was minted in Philadelphia. Now, here's where it gets juicy. The 1978 no mint mark penny isn't just your average coin. What makes it special and worth an eye-popping $1.3 million is its rarity and unique features. Most of these pennies were struck with near-perfect precision, but a select few came out with tiny, subtle errors. These errors, which might look like scratches or doubling on certain details, send collectors into a frenzy. Combine that with the fact that not many high-quality 1978 no mint mark pennies survived over the years, and bam, you've got yourself a $1 million coin. Let me give you an example of how this penny turned someone's life around. A couple of years ago, I read about a guy who found one of these pennies tucked away in an old coffee can. He almost tossed it, but something about the shine caught his eye. Long story short, he got it appraised and walked away with a payday big enough to pay off his mortgage and buy himself a new car. Can you imagine? That's like finding buried treasure in your kitchen, but here's the thing. Spotting a valuable 1978 penny isn't as simple as just grabbing a handful of change. Condition is everything. Collectors want coins that are in pristine shape, no major scratches, dents, or signs that the coin has been through a coin toss championship. This is where the grading system comes in. The higher the grade, the higher the value. Coins graded as MS65 or higher, meaning they're in almost perfect mint condition, are the ones pulling in those $1 million bids at auctions. And now, I know what you're thinking. Alright, this sounds great, but what are the chances I have one of these? Well, they're slim, but not impossible. And let me tell you, it's worth checking. I actually went through my own coin collection recently, inspired by this exact story. Spoiler alert, I didn't find a $1 million penny, but I did find a 1978 penny that reminded me of my childhood trips to the corner store for candy. That little piece of nostalgia? Priceless. Okay, maybe not $1.3 million priceless, but you get the idea. If you do decide to go hunting for this elusive coin, here's a pro tip: invest in a magnifying glass and a good light source. You're looking for sharp details on Lincoln's profile, a clean rim, and any signs of doubling on the letters or numbers. And if you think you've struck gold or, well, copper, get it authenticated by a professional. Trust me, it's worth it. So, there you have it, the incredible story of the 1978 no-mint mark Lincoln penny that could turn your spare change into life-changing money. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone who likes a good treasure hunt, this coin is proof that sometimes the most valuable things can come from the most unexpected places. Now, before you rush off to check your piggy banks and old wallets, I've got one last thing to say. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips on finding valuable coins, strategies for spotting rare treasures, or just some fun stories about everyday objects worth a fortune, hit that subscribe button. Go ahead, join the community. We've got plenty more coin wisdom and a few laughs coming your way. Hello, my fellow treasure hunters. Today, we're diving into a story about a little copper coin that packs a big punch, the 2014 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. That's right, a penny that most of us have probably walked past, tossed into a jar, or spent on a piece of gum could actually be worth a jaw-dropping $1.40 million. Yeah, let that sink in for a second. Who knew Lincoln had that kind of financial influence even on a penny? Now, before you start flipping through your couch cushions or raiding your kid's piggy bank, stick around because I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about this coin. I'll even share a hilarious and slightly embarrassing story about how I almost missed my chance at a big payday. So, what's the deal with this 2014 penny? Why is it worth more than my car? Well, here's the scoop. The 2014 no-mint mark penny is special because of its rarity and a fascinating backstory. Unlike pennies minted in Denver, marked with a D, or Philadelphia, marked with no letter, this coin has no mint mark at all. But that's not the only thing that makes it valuable. This particular coin was struck with an extraordinary level of detail and clarity, making it a collector's dream. But what really sends its value skyrocketing? A very specific error during its production. These errors can include misaligned dies, doubling on the date or text, or even a unique composition that shouldn't have made it into circulation. Long story short, these quirks make the coin a true one in a million find. And now, let me tell you about the time I thought I found one. It was a lazy Sunday afternoon, and I was sorting through a jar of pennies, thinking I might score enough for a coffee. As I was scanning the dates, because yes, I'm a coin nerd like that, I spotted a 2014 penny. No mint mark. My heart stopped. Could this be it? I grabbed my magnifying glass, yes, I own one, and started inspecting it like I was in some kind of CSI episode. For a split second, I thought I'd struck gold, or, in this case, copper. But then I noticed a tiny scratch on the surface, which lowered its value significantly. That's when I learned an important lesson: condition matters. If your coin isn't in pristine shape, collectors won't fork over the big bucks. So, if you've got a 2014 no-mint mark penny, here's what you need to do: look for any errors or unique features. It needs to be in top-notch shape, no scratches, dents, or discoloration. Professional coin grading services like PCGS or NGC can authenticate your coin and give it an official grade. Look up how much similar coins have sold for to get an idea of its value. Even if your coin isn't worth the full $1.4 million, it could still fetch a hefty sum. Some of these pennies have sold for tens of thousands of dollars at auctions. That's not too shabby for something you might find in your spare change, so what's the moral of the story here? Never underestimate the power of a penny. That little copper coin in your pocket could be your ticket to a life-changing payday. And even if you don't find $1 million penny, the thrill of the hunt is half the fun, right? If you enjoyed this video, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you'll never miss another episode of Coins Worth Money. I've got plenty more tips, tricks, and stories coming your way, including how to spot hidden treasures in your loose change. And hey, before you go, let me know in the comments, what's the most valuable coin you've ever found? Or are you just starting your coin collecting journey? Either way, I want to hear your stories. Alright, folks, happy hunting, and may your piggy banks be full of $1 million surprises. Hey there, treasure hunters. Imagine this, you're cleaning out an old junk drawer, maybe looking for batteries that actually work or some random paper clips, and bam, you come across a penny. But not just any penny. This little coin could be worth $1.5 million. Yup, you heard that right. Today, we're diving into the fascinating story of the 1998 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny, how it turned into a millionaire's dream, and why you might want to check your spare change ASAP. Stick around, because I'm not only sharing the juicy details about this penny's insane value but also a personal story of how my coin obsession almost drove my family nuts. Plus, I'll give you tips on spotting valuable coins in your everyday pocket change. Let's get started. Alright, let's break it down. The 1998 no-mint Mark penny might look like every other penny to the untrained eye, but there's something truly unique about it. First off, the no-mint mark part is key. Pennies made in Philadelphia don't carry a mint mark, but not all of them are rare. What sets this one apart is a special error in its design, something collectors go bananas for. This particular penny features a slight doubling on the letters near Lincoln's portrait. Coin nerds call this a doubled die, and it's like finding a four-leaf clover in a field of regular grass. To the casual observer, it might look like nothing, but under magnification, those letters pop out, almost like a ghostly shadow. Okay, so why the heck is someone willing to pay $1.5 million for what's essentially 1 cent? Great question. It boils down to rarity and demand. Only a few of these error pennies were ever minted, and even fewer have been discovered in pristine condition. The coin we're talking about sold for $1.5 million because it was graded as near perfect by professional coin graders. Basically, it was the Beyoncé of pennies. Flawless collectors go wild for these kinds of rarities. It's like owning a piece of history. Plus, the thrill of finding one in the wild makes it all the more exciting. Now, let me take you back a few years. I just started getting into coin collecting. I read about rare coins and got this wild idea that every penny in my house might secretly be worth a fortune. One Saturday, I turned my living room into a full-on penny inspection station. I had a magnifying glass, a flashlight, and a pile of coins taller than my dog. Long story short, I spent 6 hours going through every single coin. Did I find anything valuable? Nope. But I did find a Canadian penny that had somehow snuck into my stash, which was almost exciting. My family thought I'd lost it. To this day, they called it the Great Penny Hunt of 2019. But here's the thing, stories like the 1998 penny keep me hopeful. Because, honestly, you never know when that life-changing coin will pop up. So, how can you tell if you've got one of these million-dollar beauties? First, check the year. It should say 1998. Second, look closely at the letters Liberty and In God We Trust. If you notice any doubling, you might be holding a winner. Third, consider the condition. Coins in better shape are worth more, so try not to toss it into a jar with a bunch of other change. If you think you've got one, get it professionally appraised. Don't just list it on eBay and hope for the best. Trust me on this. So, there you have it, the story of a humble penny that's worth more than most people's houses. If this doesn't make you want to raid your piggy bank, I don't know what will. And hey, even if you don't find the 1998 no-mint Mark penny, the hunt is half the fun. Before you go, let me ask you this, what's the most random thing you've found in your spare change? Let me know in the comments. I love hearing these stories, and if you want more tips on spotting valuable coins, strategies to build your collection, or just to laugh at my coin hunting misadventures, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. You don't want to miss what's coming next. Hey there, treasure hunters. Have you ever looked at a penny and thought, man, this could be worth a fortune someday? Well, buckle up because today, we're diving into a little copper coin that could change your life, the 1989 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. That's right, a humble 1-cent piece that could rake in a jaw-dropping $1.60 million. But before you go tearing through your piggy bank like it's Black Friday at a coin store, stick around. I'm here to break down why this little penny is worth a fortune, how to spot it, and how you might just have one sitting in your couch cushions. And I've got a funny story about my own penny obsession. You'll want to hear this. Let's get right into the juicy part. Why would anyone shell out $1.6 million for a penny? The answer lies in the world of minting errors. See, back in 1989, the US Mint had one job: stamp those pennies perfectly. But every now and then, a coin slips through the cracks with some kind of error or unique feature, and collectors go wild. The 1989 no-mint mark penny is one of those rare beauties. It was supposed to have a tiny P or D to indicate whether it was minted in Philadelphia or Denver. But plot twist, some of these coins were minted without the mark. And that's what makes them so special. It's like finding a Picasso painting at a garage sale. Now, here's the kicker. Not all 1989 no-mint mark pennies are worth millions. Nope, condition matters a lot. If your penny looks like it's been through the washing machine a few times, it's probably not hitting the $1 million mark. We're talking about coins in pristine condition, graded as MS68 or higher by the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS. Think of it like this: imagine you're selling an old car. One that's shiny and polished will fetch a much better price than one covered in rust, right? Same deal with coins. Okay, quick story time. When I first heard about these rare pennies, I went all in. I raided my coin jar, dug through my car's cup holders, and even borrowed my neighbor's metal detector to scour the yard. I didn't find the 1989 penny, but I did uncover a 1985 penny that's worth, drumroll, 1 cent. Hey, we can't all be lucky, right? But here's the thing, it sparked a hobby that I love. Collecting coins is like a real-life treasure hunt, and you never know what you'll find. Plus, I learned way more about pennies than I ever thought I would. Now, let's talk strategy. If you think you've got a 1989 no-mint mark penny, here's what to do: look closely. No mint mark? Great start. If it's shiny and crisp, you're on the right track. Send it to a professional coin grading service. They'll tell you if it's the real deal. If you hit the jackpot, don't just sell it to the first person who offers you $20. Do your homework and work with a reputable dealer or auction house. Think about it, this penny isn't just a piece of copper. It's a piece of history. It's proof that even the smallest things can be incredibly valuable. And honestly, isn't that kind of inspiring? Sometimes, we're all just pennies waiting for someone to recognize our worth. Alright, getting a little deep here, but you get the point. So, there you have it, the incredible story of the 1989 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. Is it worth $1.6 million? You bet it is. But you'll never know unless you start checking those pennies. Who knows, you might just be holding onto a fortune without even realizing it. Now, here's my challenge to you: start your own treasure hunt. Go through your change jar, ask your grandparents if they have old coins, and see what you can find. And if you do find something amazing, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your story. Before you head off to dig through your couch cushions, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got tons more tips and stories about coins worth big money, and trust me, you won't want to miss them. Until next time, happy hunting! Alright, folks, imagine this: you're digging through your junk drawer looking for, I don't know, a random paperclip or some batteries, and boom, you stumble across an old penny. It's a little dusty, maybe has some gum residue on it, but who cares, right? It's just a penny. Or is it? What if I told you that same penny could actually be worth a mind-blowing $1.70 million? Yes, you heard that right, a penny, not a lottery ticket, could make you a millionaire. Today, we're diving into the fascinating story of the 1962 D-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, why it's so valuable, and how you might just have one sitting in your collection. So grab your change jar and let's get started. Now, let's talk about the 1962 D Lincoln penny. What makes this tiny coin such a big deal? First, the D-mint mark means it was minted in Denver, and 1962 was smack in the middle of the Lincoln penny craze. Millions of these were produced, but here's the kicker: the ones that are worth a fortune today? They're not just any old pennies. Oh no. They're the rare, high-grade versions. See, most pennies from 1962 were circulated, tossed around in pockets, dropped on sidewalks, maybe even flattened on train tracks for fun. Pause for comedic effect. I mean, who hasn't done that at least once? But the ones that fetch $1.7 million are in what collectors call mint state condition, meaning they look as fresh as the day they rolled off the press. No scratches, no discoloration, no signs that someone used them as a makeshift screwdriver, and here's where it gets even crazier: there are only a handful of these flawless pennies known to exist. That's scarcity? That's what drives the price through the roof. Imagine having a penny so perfect it's basically the coin version of Brad Pitt, flawless and in high demand. Now, let me tell you a little story. A few years ago, I was cleaning out my late grandfather's attic. You know the kind of attic I'm talking about: dusty boxes, old photo albums, a few questionable smelling sweaters. Well, among all that stuff, I found a coin collection. At first, I wasn't impressed. It was mostly nickels and dimes. But then, tucked away in a little velvet pouch, I found the shiny penny with a D on it. I got so excited thinking I'd struck it rich. I raced to the nearest coin shop, ready to cash in and retire early. Turns out, my rare treasure was worth, wait for it, $1. Laughs, hey, better than 1 cent, right? But it taught me a valuable lesson: not every old penny is a jackpot, but it doesn't hurt to check. And who knows? You might just be the lucky one to find that $1.7 million beauty. So, how can you tell if your 1962 D penny is worth millions? Here's the cheat sheet. Like I said, it has to be flawless. If it's got scratches, it's probably not your golden ticket. Look for unique errors like doubled die obverse or off-center strikes. These mistakes can make a coin way more valuable. If you think you've got a winner, send it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll authenticate it and give it a grade. High grades equal high dollars, my friends. Oh, and don't forget to use a magnifying glass. Seriously, trying to spot coin errors without one is like trying to find Waldo in a crowd of Santa Clauses. So, there you have it, the fascinating world of the 1962 D Lincoln penny. Could this be your ticket to financial freedom? Maybe. But even if it's not, checking your coins is a fun hobby, and who knows? You might stumble across another hidden treasure. Before you go, I've got one last question. What's the coolest or weirdest coin you've ever found? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear your stories. And hey, if you're into discovering coins worth big bucks or just want tips on how to build your collection, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. I've got tons of videos coming up that'll help you turn pocket change into a fortune. Hey there, coin enthusiasts. Have you ever found a penny lying on the ground and thought, it's just a penny? Well, after today's video, you might just pick up every single one you see. Why? Because there's a 1984 penny out there, yes, the kind you could have gotten as change at the grocery store, that's worth a jaw-dropping $1.8 million. That's not a typo, $1.8 million for a single cent. So grab your jar of spare change, settle in, and let's dive into the fascinating world of valuable coins. Trust me, this is one story you don't want to miss. Alright, let's talk about this incredible coin, the 1984 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. At first glance, it looks like every other penny you've probably tossed in a parking lot or fed to a vending machine. But what makes this particular coin so special? First off, no mint mark. If you look closely at the year on most pennies, you'll see a tiny letter beneath it indicating where it was minted: P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, or S for San Francisco. But the 1984 penny we're talking about doesn't have that little letter, meaning it was minted in Philadelphia. Now, that's not unusual in itself. But the real treasure lies in a fascinating error on this coin. This penny is famous for what's called a double die error. Basically, during the minting process, the die used to stamp the design onto the coin was slightly misaligned, creating a doubled image. The most noticeable doubling on the 1984 penny is on Lincoln's ear. That's right, if Honest Abe looks like he's got 2 ears on one side of his head, you've hit the jackpot. This error gives the coin its incredible value, turning an everyday penny into a small fortune. Now, let me tell you a little story. A couple of years ago, I was cleaning out my junk drawer, the one we all have that's full of random batteries, rubber bands, and paper clips. I stumbled upon an old coffee can full of coins. And for fun, I decided to sift through them, checking for rare dates or errors. While I didn't find the 1984 double-die penny, sadly, I did discover a wheat penny from 1943 that was worth a decent amount. And that moment made me realize just how much treasure might be hiding in plain sight. So, if you've got a jar or drawer full of pennies, you've got a reason to dig in. Back to the big one, the current market value of this 1984 penny? A staggering $1.8 million. That's right, one tiny coin could change your life. Imagine paying off your mortgage, buying a car, or even going on the vacation of your dreams, all thanks to a single penny. But here's the kicker. These coins are rare, so finding one isn't easy. Experts estimate that only a handful exist in such pristine condition. If you think you found one, the first step is to get it professionally graded by an organization like the PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service. And hey, even if it's not worth millions, you might still have a valuable coin on your hands. So, what's the moral of the story? Never underestimate the power of a penny. That little copper coin could be the key to your financial dreams. And the next time you're tempted to walk past a penny on the ground, think twice, you might just be stepping over $1.80 million. Now, before you go, let me ask you this. Are you curious about other coins that could be worth a fortune? Want tips on how to spot rare coins or build a killer collection? Then hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I post weekly videos packed with info to help you turn your spare change into serious cash. And hey, if you found this video helpful, or if you're about to raid your piggy bank, give it a like and drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your stories.